Jason, employees are spending the equivalent of a month's grocery bills on the return to office, and they are growing more resentful than ever. Have you heard about this?
I mean, I could imagine. Like, I wouldn't want to spend more money than I had to.
Yeah, I think that there is a lot of benefits working remotely. I do see some benefits of working in office, but yes, I think largely, from what I heard, there's a lot of good benefits that come from working remotely. The thing that has happened though is a recent study from BetterUp shows that the number of primary remote roles has been cut in half. We all know this. It's
Yeah.
like there's less and less remote roles out there. And the thing is that 1 out of 4 organization cited improved connections and culture as business rationale behind mandated office returns. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it depends. Like all things, I think it depends. Because like for some office roles you don't really need to. I don't think there's like a super large need for like maybe accountants or something like that. Like
Yeah.
like other like admin roles or something like that to be in person, but I do think like some roles would be better off to like have like at least hybrid where like they come in to like meet in person sometimes.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that because it's like I do like the hybrid model personally. I feel like for me personally, I like the connection of talking to other people, being in office, but I do see the benefits of working remote. The thing is that there was another research study done.
Okay.
And the thing is that they found out that returning to an office often is a major disruption to one's routine, foundational work, and overall life experience. I think this was done by Fortune. The thing is, they surveyed 1,400 U.S. employees that have like returned to office, and then they found out they had a higher burnout, higher stress, and just overall like their quality of life was down.
I could see that because just thinking about the stress of driving on the road during rush hour, like that's adding 30 minutes of this pure stress to your workday. And then you get to work and then it's like definitely more stressful to be in person than, potentially at home, just, looking at emails or like on a Zoom call. It's not as stressful.
Yeah, I think you're right. And by the way, there's a couple more things I want to talk about that point exactly. But before that, if you like this type of content, consider subscribing. We put out interesting videos daily. We have a library of over 300 videos. And the thing is, subscribing is free. It doesn't cost you anything. And it does really help out the channel. So consider subscribing. The thing is that they found out that return to office results in pressure on employees' flexibility on time and even bank accounts. If they are struggling to adjust to this new mandate that they are not alone, because a lot of people are feeling like this. There are benefits that come from working in person. For example, BetterUp has done a partnership to find certain things, and the thing is that they found an increased life satisfaction and social connectionness as a benefit of in-person interactions. So what do you think about that? Because I think that I personally agree. It's like I do feel more connected. I feel like I need someone to talk to from time to time. I can't be in like a room by myself for like 8 hours. I need at least some interaction with people. That's not like over Zoom or not like a Teams call. Because if you have a day that's not like meeting heavy, it's like I feel like you're not getting that interaction.
I don't know, man. I think you're getting from work what you could be getting from somewhere else in your life. Because I feel like that study where it's like, oh, you're increasing your socialness, the other like talk to more people. But then like if you think about it the other way, you could be getting those social interactions from somewhere else.
That
Like
is true.
like oh, like well, how am I going to talk to people? Like, well, you can go and talk to like people outside of work. Like you don't have to talk to people at work.
That is true. That is true. But I feel like I do feel that you're right. I do feel like you can talk to other people, but I think at the same time, I do personally like being able to get things done quicker if someone else is right there and I'm able just to quickly talk to them and have like that conversation, because I think it does help help better create a relationship in terms of a work relationship with the people around you. So I do think that aspect is important. And I do think that personally, I just like talking. I like the conversational piece of it. But the thing is that what do you think is the biggest challenge with return to office? You touched on this a little earlier.
Oh, this is the traffic, probably.
Yes, it is. It's the traffic, because the thing is that, as many of us know, with people returning back to office, a lot of the struggle is coming from the commute. Yeah, because imagine this. And it should be no surprise to anyone that this return to office is linked with commuting, which is linked to higher stress and anger for people that are in traffic for like 30 to 45 minutes, because that's a long time.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of a normal commute. Like 30 to 40 minutes won't get you to SF in the morning.
No,
you try and drive there.
No, there was another term called super commuters, and the super commuters are the people who are commuting that over an hour to get to a certain location, even more.
Like. So for those who don't know, it's not an hour both ways; it's an hour one way.
Yes, it's an hour one way. But yes, you're right. I think like 30 to 40 minutes is average for most people.
And those people are like living fairly close. Like even if you travel like a couple miles, it may or may not take you 30 to 40 minutes to get somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing too is that the second most challenging thing about this is the loss of flexibility to switch between work and home task. For things like accepting a delivery or switching over the laundry between meetings, because everyone is time starved. No one has the time. So like these little things really did help out a lot.
I don't know. When you said that you had more immediate interaction with your coworkers, I feel like you are just revealing that your coworkers are just not available. Like you could probably schedule a meeting like, hey, let's meet about and talk about whatever. And then, that would be the same thing. You're just like, oh, my coworker is unresponsive otherwise. And because he's here in person, I can talk to him.
Yeah. I mean, like personally, sometimes it's like I do get like left on red for some of these messages.
That might be more a them or you problem.
What? But I do. What's it called? I do have to say that personally, like for me, I like the hybrid work schedule. I do like going in from time to time, not all fully, because the thing is, like one of these pain points mentioned, the commute and being time starved are two of my major pain points.
It costs so much for gas.
It does. It costs so much for gas. And the thing is, this is what this whole story centers around, because it's like you're going through either buying food outside, the gas, and then you are also, you also don't have enough time to perform any of these other tasks that you needed to do.
Because it could be like, it's like, oh, if it's a 30-minute commute, that's 1 hour of your day. And then if it's like an hour, that's 2 hours of your day.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if you're working 8 hours, now you're at 10-hour day.
Yeah, as much as the thing is too, as much as I like the office and talking to my coworkers and being able to interact with everyone else, the second point really does hit home for me, because it's I feel like I don't have enough time in the day. So it's like I completely agree with the study that's being done here, saying it's like this is a huge pain point for people. Yeah, but I would want to know the opinion of our audience too, if they feel the same way, if they are fully in office, or they're hybrid, or they're remote. I would want to know their opinions in the comments down below.
I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like they should just be honest instead of like all this cope. It's like, oh, it's about the culture and all this other stuff. Like I think it's just, we want you here to be here because we're paying you to the job. Like, if you just like stop sugarcoating it, it's like, oh, we want you here because we're paying you to do a job and we want you here. There's no other reason behind it. Then it's like, okay, fine.
The thing is, this is very, very last thing.
Oh.
I do think that there is a good amount of people who work really well from home. Like the thing is, 100%, I think that there is a good subset of people who they work better remotely than in office. And the thing is, I think that there should be a liberty to choose on when to come in and when not to come in.
I mean, I feel like there are meetings that you probably should do in person, but I do think that other times it's just kind of, and I think if you have like remote positions, I feel like you're opening up positions to a wider variety of people. So you could get the better talent for those positions. Like you could get, it's like you may not have to pick like, yeah, you can be more choosy as a company for who fills those remote positions because they're more desirable. So like, oh, you can have a better talent and then they can do whatever, but as long as they're performing, it's like,
as long as they're performing, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
That's my opinion too. But yes, let us know in the comments down below.